YouTube, how are you now? So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Warzone just released Season 3 Reloaded. So a new weapon in the Battle Pass, the Battle 27. So it's a new assault rifle that shoots the first 4 shots at a slower fire rate and then shoots faster the longer you hold the trigger down. So the first 4 shots are slower shooting but are very accurate, and then after you hold the trigger, it kind of gets out of control. So just going to do a time to kill chart with all the weapon changes, how they affect time to kill, and all that for both Modern Warfare, multiplayer, and Warzone. So if you're new to this, basically this is just a chart with all the statistics for the weapons in the game. So it's gathered from in-game, and then some of the other stats are gathered outside of the game as well through like exclusive ACE and true game data when they do the testing, because the stats in the game are limited. It only shows basically your maximum damage, and then the maximum damage range and minimum damage drop off, but it doesn't give you all the stats in between. So it's always going to be a work in progress. I'm always updating it as I gather more information, but basically it's just the stats gathered from in game. So you have your weapons, your aim down sight time, your sprint to fire time, your reload speed, your bullet velocity, rate of fire, damage per second, your damage values for head, upper torso, and torso. So some weapons have like arm, hand, leg damage multipliers that are different, but to keep it simple, I'm just using those 3 basic ones. And then you have your damage values out to different ranges from 5 meters all the way to 100. So this is just all the stats for the multiplayer. If it's in red, that's going to be a buff or a new weapon, and then if it's in gray, that's going to be like a nerf. So if they buffed it and nerfed it, these are just the stats. For multiplayer, all the changes from the patch notes, I'll leave a link in the description or the comment for both this spreadsheet and the patch notes for multiplayer and Warzone, so you can check it out. So Battle 27 is the main thing for here. Standard sprint to fire and ADS. Bullet velocity is pretty good. It says 698 rounds per minute. I'm not sure if that's the starting fire rate or that's what it ramps up to, but that's just what it shows here. So I'm just going to be using that 698 to calculate a theoretical time to kill, but I'm not sure if that's the first 4 bullets or after that or none of the above. So sometimes the stats are weird in the game, but that's that. So we'll just look at it in multiplayer, how it is in multiplayer. So based on that 698 round per minute fire rate, it's about average for body shots. Not very good with headshots, but you're not going to be hitting all headshots anyway. But for body shots, it's about average, so within 100 milliseconds of the fastest time to kill. So basically, these are all the time to kill values in milliseconds. Theoretical time to kill, if you're hitting every shot at the maximum fire rate possible. Your fastest time to kill is going to be in red. Your second fastest is going to be in orange, so within 50 milliseconds of the fastest time to kill. Within 100 milliseconds, yellow. Within 150 is light green. Within 200 is dark green, and so on and so forth. So you want ideally red, orange, or yellow. Those are the competitive. Anything beyond that's going to be not that great, and you definitely don't want these higher numbers here because those aren't going to compete with the faster killing guns in those specific classes. So Battle 27 is about average, if that 698 is the first 4 shots, because it takes 5 shots to kill if you're hitting body shots. So if you're accurate with your shots, those first 4 shots are going to be at that slower fire rate, more accurate. But Battle 27 kind of gets out of control once you hold the fire rate down, so I would say it's best to try to get those first 4 shots hit, because the recoil gets a bit outrageous and uncontrollable when you hold the trigger down for too long. So you're going to want to take advantage of those slower shooting, more accurate rounds. And then Warzone as well, just scroll through here really quick for all the stats, changes, buffs, and nerfs that are in the patch notes. And then we'll look at the time to kill for the Battle 27. Then we'll just go through the detailed changes in the time to kill charts for both multiplayer and Warzone. So Battle 27 is not very good in Warzone, but that's based on the 698 rounds per minute. So if you're going to be hitting those faster firing shots, it's probably a better time to kill. But at the same time, with how the recoil works, you're not going to be hitting those shots beyond like close to maybe mid-range. But the recoil gets pretty out of control the longer you hold the trigger down. So I wouldn't really think it's going to be the best outside of like close to mid-range, even if you're able to take advantage of the faster fire rate, because that recoil is pretty out of control. So we'll have to see though. We'll have to see how it goes. But looking at all the changes, nothing really changed here as far as time to kill goes in the assault rifle category. Nothing in the battle rifle. They did nerf the SOE subverter though at longer ranges, so a lot slower killing at longer ranges, so it's not nearly as good as it used to be in multiplayer at longer range. Still good up close, but not nearly as good at longer ranges. Let's see. SMGs, they buffed the HRM9 just in this one little range, so I think they increased the range. That was about it for that one little section, but it doesn't look like anything else changed there in multiplayer. The DG58 LSW LMG got buffed pretty good, so 255 millisecond time to kill is very, very fast for any type of gun, so out to 35 meters, so that's pretty good. Definitely the fastest killing LMG, except point blank range for the Jack Burnout kit, but everything else it beats pretty handily, so definitely a more usable option, but then again the handling is really slow, so 370 millisecond aim down sight, 294 sprint to fire, so you can't really run and gun, but if you're already pre-aimed and start shooting, it can kill very, very fast, even compared to some of the faster killing guns out there, even SMGs and stuff. So very fast killing, but slow handling. Well, it looks like the only change to LMGs, nothing marksman, nothing sniper, nothing pistol. Okay, so Warzone, let's see. So they buffed the MCW at range, so it's faster time to kill at longer ranges here. Still pretty slow compared to some of the other assault rifles, but it does have one of the lowest recoil patterns there is, so easier to use, but not the fastest killing gun. But it does kill faster now at longer ranges than before. They nerfed the Ram 7 pretty hard, so it used to be really good up close. It used to be really good all around, but then they nerfed it at long range, and now they nerfed it up close too, so it's not even very good up close either. 800 milliseconds time to kill for up close is not very good, so it's definitely not going to be getting picked all that often, I wouldn't think, anymore. There's a lot better choices now, so they nerfed that one into oblivion, basically. Let's see what else we got. No changes there. SOA Subverter they nerfed, so they lowered the maximum damage range by about 5 meters. So one more shot to kill here, because it used to be this, but this moved over here. And then they also nerfed it at long range too, so not as good as it used to be. It used to be the best if you're hitting upper torso at long range, so now it's okay, within 100 milliseconds of the fastest killing. Now the Sidewinder is the fastest at long range, but Sidewinder has a bit of recoil too, so just not the standout anymore that it used to be, but still pretty good, especially up close, but not as good as it used to be at long range. They buffed the Striker at long range, so faster time to kill at long range. Still not the greatest at long range, but better than it was before. They buffed the Rival 9 up close, so within, 15 meters, you get a faster time to kill, hitting upper torso or lower torso. So it's more competitive. Still not the fastest for upper torso damage, but if you're hitting torso, it's one of the better ones now. They nerfed the HRM9 pretty bad, out to 25 meters, and then also out to 30 meters for body shots. So used to be one of the faster killing guns, now it's not very good. So 680 milliseconds within 10 meters is not very good when other guns can kill faster. So used to be one of the best, now it's about mid-tier, I'd say. That looks like it for the SMGs. DG58 buffed again, so faster time to kill all across the board, hitting body shots from at any range. So it's still not the greatest in Warzone, but it's more in line with a lot of the other LMGs, whereas it used to be slower. So more comparable to the other LMGs, and they nerfed the Bruen pretty hard too. So the Bruen was probably one of the better LMGs for Warzone, and now it's not that great. Now it's probably one of the worst ones. So probably not going to see too much of the Bruen anymore. It's nerfed pretty much all across the board. So 791 milliseconds if you're hitting upper torso, 870 if you're hitting lower torso. So not the best. Not the best anymore. And then you got slower handling too with an LMG. So Probably not going to be seeing too much of that anymore. Marksmans didn't change, snipers didn't change, besides adjustments to like sprint to fire and ADS, that kind of stuff, bullet velocity, but no time to kill changes. And then only other change was the WSB Stinger. So they buffed the upper torso damage multiplier so that it matches headshot damage, so a little bit faster. It used to be 720, now it's 660, but not a big change there. Still pretty terrible time to kill wise for pistols. But yep, that's all the changes that affect the time to kill. Like I said, I'll leave the links to the patch notes if you want to go through all of them, because there are a lot of subtle changes that they made to like handling and that kind of stuff, and the attachments and that kind of stuff. But if it doesn't affect the time to kill, I don't really go into too much detail with it. But they did make a lot of changes outside of stuff that affects the time to kill. So if you want to check it out, just go ahead and read through it. I'll leave a link in the description and also the comment, because I don't know if the links are working yet, because YouTube keeps saying I need to verify my channel. Every now and then it doesn't. Links don't work in the description, pinned comments don't work, chapters don't work, but I've had it verified before and then it worked and then it didn't work, so I don't know what's going on with YouTube. But yeah, it just helps me out putting this together so I can get an idea of how certain guns perform, so which guns I should be using or how I should be using certain guns to get the most out of them. Just helps me out to put this chart together. That way I have an idea of what's going on and what changes make a difference or don't make a difference. So I'm always updating it, like I said, with new information, but I'm not usually doing videos unless it's like a new season or the mid-season reloaded, unless they make a lot of changes to weapons that affect time to kill. But usually they don't make that many changes that are that significant to time to kill. It's just little changes here and there. So but yeah, let me know down in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see in these charts that would make it more useful, better overall. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.